Hello, good morning. Just going to pop on here and share what comes out. I'm going to use my cards today. My own cards I created. I've got the Golden Phoenix Oracle deck. Hi, Marco. And I've made two decks of cards. I've got the Galactic Goddess deck by Rebecca Knight. And all of my artwork from, hi those joining, all of my artwork from like my teen years, my early 20s, which is a while ago now. I managed to get all on, hi friend, I'll just show you some. We've got the Lover's card. Ooh, misses, naked bottoms, stars, the universe, hang on, dropping everything. I'll just show you some of them. They're really cute, they're tiny and I ordered them. But it's so beautiful as a creative person to discover and to see it. Who's lolling at the naked bums? Do you want a closer look? Where did they go? They fell out. Yeah. Ooh, it's a bit early for that. Bit fresh, right? We got the music. This is like la guitar. It was me when I was playing the guitar. And there were signs all the time. Gold dust, head in the clouds. It's like me. But yeah, well, let me just show you something. I got the mask. This was from my Arabic days when I lived in the Gulf. We got the unicorn. Expression. Oh, look, it's me. You can tell who was the author of these cards. We've got the journey. Anyway, I pulled some for us just before I hit the live button. I get more and more impromptu as the day goes by. I used to be like, plan everything. I don't plan much anymore. So, right, the Galactic deck. That's AI versions of me. I'm everywhere. They had some stuff to say. So, let's have a look what Spirit was trying to say. I did have a message that I came on to say, but the cards are kind of confirming. Believe in magic. Look at the fairy version of me. Believe in magic. Things can change in your favour at any moment. And this is what I was going to quickly talk about today. It all depends on you. Hi, Susie! Susie! Long time no see, girl. Yeah, Spirit can take you in the direction of your soul path. Your soul is always calling you. You're going to hear me harping on about this all the time. However, we have a choice, and this is what I woke up with in my mind this morning, and it was the scripture of no man can serve two masters. So, hi, beautiful. So you choose who's going to be the master of your life. And in my opinion, that is every day we wake up, we have a choice. We can choose to be the old version of ourselves, like I said about last week, again and again and again, and never see any change. Namaste, hello, welcome again. Or we can decide to get up and say, I choose to tune into my higher self. I choose to believe what God says about me, what my soul tells me about me, and I'm going to start walking as if that is my reality. And you're going to have these two roads. There's always a choice set before you. One's going to bring life, one's going to bring death. And the more I'm walking my path, I'm kind of just walking, following my soul, and I'm seeing magic happen everywhere around me, like gold dust, like abundance, money arriving, provision, opportunities, favor, abundance, support, good friendships. And I was thinking about this not serving two masters kind of thing. We can choose to be a master to our negativity and our negative thinking and our limited beliefs, or we can choose to be like, hey, I'm going to start walking in this path with a different mindset and choose to believe and have faith that what the universe has told me about my life and the way that my soul is calling me, that I choose to believe it. So if you believe it, what's that expression? Put your money where your mouth is, right? Because I believe that there is, I'm an Aquarius, which is the star sign, and Spirit has also said you will be a star that shines. And I'm not here to shine for my own, hey, look at me. I'm here to shine to show you guys, like, this is how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be the full expressions of our soul purpose, the brightest aspects of us. And I see so many people walking around in darkness, whether that be a fog of mental anguish, or they've got serious depression, or they're just lost and they're waking up every day like wondering, what am I doing here? And I come to say, I've been there, so I totally understand. But there is another way, there is another path, there is another way to live your life. And I'm just, if anything, just want to scratch the itch and provoke and to inspire people to believe that there is another way. By the testimony of my own story, I've certainly been in dark spots, and yet I know that Spirit has some amazing things up ahead, and I'm starting to see the fruits of believing that. That's the point. So yes, you can be a star. We've got the air energy, that's also me. I'm Aquarius, air sign. So I'm very, I'm not very, you can't really put me in a box. Kind of do my, hey Juice, how are you? So Spirit, wherever Spirit kind of blows, I will just follow. I feel very fluid in that. There's no set structure. I was thinking today, I don't really have a plan. I don't have a plan. I have an idea, or I have markers in my mind where Spirit show me certain things, but along the way I'm just playing and I'm having fun and I'm following the unction of my own soul, and it's actually very freeing to live like that. So we have the third eye chakra. That's like opening up or connecting to source, connecting to Spirit, seeing things a different way, right? That's again coming back to you can't serve two masters. So you're either being governed by your own thoughts, oh that can't happen, or it's never been that way before, or I'm not good enough, even though Spirit's saying that's where I'm taking you. You could be serving the master of your mind that's saying, oh, I can't do that, that's for everyone else but me, I've always been this way, I've always been struggled with mental anguish, I've always had no luck, I've always been cursed, I've always been, but there's this choice, and the choice has to come from you. To see the fruits of what your soul is desperately trying to get you to see, you've got to make a different choice. You've got to switch. You've got to make some kind of line, draw a line in the sand and say enough. I want to ask this as well. This is for somebody that's going to hear this at some point. How's it working out for you doing it the way that you've always done it? How's it working out for you? Because if you can tell me that you're happy, you're full of joy, you wake up every morning with a spring in your step, even in times of trouble, you've got this faith that you're relying upon something, you feel supported. Do you feel like that? Or have you been relying on yourself and the way that you think, woe is me, and it's not getting you anywhere, and you're just trudging your heels in the sand, like on a treadmill of your own meh, So how's it working out for you doing what you've done this far? And maybe just give it a try doing it a different way. And that different way is the challenge of leaning into Spirit, connecting yourself to the mains. This morning as I was waking, I had this kind of vision of like an electrical current, a main source, and there was plugs from our umbilical cords coming out, and we literally choose where to plug ourselves into, right? And those choices will have consequences to the way our life appears and the way that things work out for us or they don't. But we have a choice, right? And we can go and plug ourselves into the highest frequency. To me, that is God, source. It's the brightest source of energy that I can picture. It's loving, it's powerful, it's holy. You can plug yourself into that, and you can be I am the vine, you are the branches. Or you can choose to go and plug yourself into some sort of lower carnal, different type of energy where you're seeking a different type of outcome. And yet you're always going to be frustrated. Hey, soul astronaut, you're always going to be frustrated that your soul and your flesh, your mind are going to have an argument, because your soul has a particular blueprint and knows who you are. And ultimately, we can either align with that and see it happening. Good morning, Goddess. Thank you. Or we can be somewhere else where we've plugged in and we're surrounding ourselves with a body of influence that is not supporting what our soul needs. And I think we know when we're doing that. We know on some level that we're not in the right place. We're not surrounding ourselves with the right type of people. And those people that we choose to surround ourselves with are going to have a massive impact on how we function and how we kind of gel with the world. So if you've got people around you when you wake up, good morning, and they're the sort of people go, oh, is it? You know, like Eeyore, oh, woe is me, oh, life's shit. How is that going to affect your mental health, your vitality, your life source energy, if you're plugging yourself into a bunch of depressed, you know, there's no aspiration, there's no support system? It's going to affect you ultimately. So you have a choice, and this is what I woke up to. Spirit was saying so many people are at this point where they know they have to make a decision, and if they don't make any changes and they don't choose to unplug to certain things and go and plug into something that's desperately supporting them, your biggest cheerleader, that's going to assist you and give you all of the energy and all of the joy and all of the wisdom and all of the knowledge, go here, go left, go right, go and stand there for a little bit and wait. You know, have you ever thought about some of the things that Jesus said in the Bible? Like the instructions that he gave were quite bizarre sometimes. Go down to the river and wash yourself. Well, I've been there 7 times, you know. Or go down there, or putting mud in the eyes, or some very strange instructions sometimes. But it took obedience and it took trust in order for them to get exactly what it was that those people were desperately wanting. And they tried everything. I've been down to the river Jordan 7 times and I'm still not healed. I'm telling you to do it again. What if you're at that precipice and then you ignored that last? People come back healed, you know, that's just an example. But for me, you know, we can think we're at the end and, oh, I've tried that before, God, I tried that before. Try it again. You know, how many times I've tried, you know, doing things that I knew were aligning my soul, but it wasn't the right time, but there was that persistence, and I had to trust, oh God, like how long am I going to be doing this before I see the breakthrough? Someone knows. And you've just got but you've got to be tuned in, you've got to be obedient, and you've got to be the part of the branches, you've got to be plugged in order to know, okay, we'll do this. The confidence. A certain amount of confidence comes over you when you're walking plugged in to a source that is assisting you. Hi, promo. That is assisting you and guiding you and supporting you. Like, I think I underestimate sometimes the amount of guidance that I get, but I think it's because it's not just for me. I'm not giving all this stuff just for me. I'm giving this stuff to share it. It comes through me like a channel. I apply it to my own life. I see the results, and then I want to share it. Here, have some. Eat. This is good. Eat. Let it go. The past has to go. I've got something to share about this too. Let the past go, because there's a version of you that's waiting that cannot embody that new version of you, that new upgrade, when you're clinging on to the past. I'm going to share a little story. So I've decided to take therapy, okay? I'm 47 years old and I've decided to take therapy because there's been a lot of trauma in my life. I mean, we all have trauma. I'm not saying I'm any different than anyone else. But from birth all the way through, there have been very significant traumatic experiences that I've faced. And I feel, I might get emotional, I feel like I've always just dealt with it myself, or I've gone to God, or I've kind of dealt with it here and with me, and I don't need to go to anyone else because I'm very self-aware, I'm very inquisitive, you know, and to a certain extent that served me very well, to be very open-minded and to have that kind of self-accountability and check in with myself, what my motives and all that sort of stuff. But it reached a point this Christmas, and I don't know why it happened. We'd been through a lot of stress and there was a crescendo of things, and then we had to move house, and it all just became too much, right? Around Christmas period, I just had a breakdown, and you'll probably see I've been talking then about my my healing journey, and I'm sharing it with you so to help you guys, you know, kind of tune in and know that that's okay, and that's good, and you just need to be so in tune that you know. And I knew, I don't care how much it costs or what I have to do to adjust my schedule, or I have to do this. And I was just sobbing, like, I know I need to do this. And then after Christmas, I signed up in the January, in the new year. And it was like an adamant, this has to be done. Fast forward, I've been having the therapy, and a lot of things have come up. One of those things that's come up is the loss of my mother. And I was 19 when she died. And I always thought she was kind of in her 50s or some sort of age when she passed. I must have blocked it out of my memory. And one evening I was sitting here, and I've talked about the worms. They're these subconscious worms that come up. And one of these worms come up, and it was like, how old was your mum when she passed? And I was like, oh, good question. I think she was in her 50s, I don't know. And it was nagging me. Why don't you ask your brother how old your mum was when she passed? I was like, okay. So I text my brother, and then I put the phone to the side, and I went to bed. That night I had a dream, and my mother appeared to me, as she often does, and she said, I was 47, I was your age, and I died in January. And here I am, 47 years old, having a breakdown and signing up on the month of her death, the exact age that she was when she died, choosing to live my life to the full and finally let go and deal with a lot of the pain that I've dealt with. And it was like a holy F moment for me. I was like, what are the chances? And I texted my daughter, and she said, oh yes, because she's training to be a therapist. Your body doesn't just hold the score energetically, your body also holds significant anniversaries of things that have happened, traumatic things, and you might not even be consciously aware that there are particular dates that you've forgotten. I didn't even know how old she was. I was surprised that she was my age. I thought she was older. So at 47 years old, if you think if we were living a timeline at the same time, my mum reached my age and left this realm, and she died. And I've reached this age to the month and decided to better myself and to take therapy and to face the pain of losing her and choose to say, that was your end, this is my beginning. And it was like this beautiful aha moment. And then I remembered, she came to me again and she said, do you remember when I passed and you were in the first year of grief? And she came to me and she showed me this vision that there was two women, they were African women, but one represented her and one was me. And she was holding one fish, and she had all these symbols, that certain soul signatures on her I'll have to find it and put it on here, on her outfit. And I had exactly the same, but more, and I had two fish. And she said to me, you're going to have a double portion of the life that I lived. So you'll be double the spirituality. She was very spiritual, but she said, you're going to have a double portion of the spiritual gifts, a double portion of abundance, double portion of life. And as I said last week, Jesus came to me and said, I did not come to give just life, but life to the full. And I couldn't have this life to the full if I didn't choose to let go and stop holding on to the trauma and the pain of the past. Because if you're holding on to those things, you cannot receive the things that are wanting to come into your life, because hi Bianca, because you're still living in the past, or you're still holding on to this hurt that will prevent you everywhere, mind, body, soul, from stepping in to the fullness of who you could be. Imagine who you could be if you'd never suffered any pain, no one had ever hurt you, you'd never been rejected, you'd never felt abused or broken or grieving. Imagine if those things, imagine the capacity of your potential with a clean slate. And it almost felt like this was the beginning of a clean slate, to say, I'm going to live life to the full, and I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure I'm facing all of my demons that will ever prevent me from living the life that I know my soul wants me to live. But we have a choice, okay? That's what I'm saying. We have a choice. You can't serve two masters. You can't be saying, oh, but making excuses for your behavior because of that problem or that experience. At some point, how's that working out for you? How's that working out for you? Are you going to just keep living your life till you're dead, making excuses that you never did that thing because somebody else hurt you or that experience happened. Not undermining the experience or what you've gone through. But we have to take responsibility for our own healing and our own choices and align ourselves and plug ourselves into the source. Because we're connected to spirit. We are not just these physical beings. And we do, I believe, have a mission here. We have a soul mission. We have a blueprint. We have something that we need to... we've come here for a reason. Mine is most definitely to bring light and life. I really hope I do. And these petals are like pollinating, to pollinate others and to say, hey, what's in me is in you. We are the same. If I can do it, you can do it. Trust me. If it takes me 47 years, the next lot, the next wave, do it when you're 20. Like, let's bring awareness to how important it is to look within and to face our demons and our traumas, and to lean into people that have the skill sets and the understanding. The therapist that I've got at the moment, she's so divine because she's spiritual, and I sit there and I talk about my visions and my worms, and she's completely compliant and excited about it. She's very excited about it. Whereas, you know, I could have been aligned with someone that was very unspiritual, and I wouldn't have been able to express myself or go to those places and say, hey, I had this dream, so that's why I made that decision. And they'd have been like, okie dokie. You know, so everything's aligned in your favour. Does anybody have a question? We've got some people in the room. Does anybody have a question, or would you like me to pull a card for you before I pop off? But that was ultimately it. You have a choice, okay? You have a choice. You can't serve two masters, meaning you can't serve, you know, your mind and the negativity and then expect to eat from the fruit. You know, you've got to take a choice. Where am I going? Where am I aligning myself? How am I going to live in line with my soul? My soul wants me in a certain place, and it will make decisions for you almost outside of your control, and then they present themselves as an opportunity. But I would have had a choice to say, no, I'm not going to go into therapy, not going to face these things. I am excited to face these things because I know that it's clearing, bettering me, opening my heart, freeing me. It's freeing me from shackles of pain and heaviness that I no longer want to carry. Okay? And for some people, I know this is going to land. You're tired of carrying around these burdens and these shackles. And it's time to choose. It's time to choose you. And it's time to really get honest with yourself. Who are you aligning yourself with? Who's supporting you? Time to make some changes. I would love to share a perspective of healing choices. Sure, if you've got something to share, Marco, send me a message. Maybe there's something in that. Yeah, I love connecting with people and hearing other people's perspectives and what gets triggered and what gets kind of like stimulated through this type of things. But yeah, send me a message. Please pull for me. Okay, Promo King. I will pull a card and see what Spirit wishes to say for you. I'm going to pull from this bunch. Promo, time to reclaim your power. Reclaim your power. I feel like you've been through some things and you feel as if you've been weakened by those experiences, and you've kind of just been going along, what's the word? A bit on autopilot, not quite feeling yourself. And now it's time to reclaim your power and say, right, that's done with. It's finished. That wasn't a good experience. But I'm damned if I'm going to be weakened by this. I'm going to choose to be strengthened by this experience. And you need to pull back your power, and you need to step back into that place of knowing who you are. Remember who you are. I feel like you've been a bit bruised, like an apple. I'm seeing a bruise with the apple's bruised. But you're not broken. You've been bruised, but you're not broken. And it's time to remember who you are. I always want to swear on these things. Remember who the beep you are, and just get up again. Dust yourself off. All right, soul, I've got you. Soul astronaut, Let's see. Oh, it's staring at me. Explore. So look, it's an astronaut. Soul astronaut. That was yours. Go and explore. Your soul is calling you to a vast banquet of exploration. I'm hearing you think you're old, but you're not old. You've got a young heart, and there's things. Don't get into that sort of retirement, slowing down. That's what Spirit's telling me. It's the opposite. Spirit wants you to go and explore, soul astronaut. You've got things to see and hear and feel and taste and experience that are beyond what you can see yourself doing at this moment in time, but there's things to come. Travel. Marco, how many people would consider how a person who seems to have no hope have a fear to show compassion? Say, I'm not quite sure. How many people would consider how a person who seems to have no hope have no fear to show compassion? Are you meaning the person that seems to have no hope and fear seems to have the most compassion? If you're saying that, I think I get your meaning. I often find like people on the streets, per se, they have the least amount of riches or provision, yet they have the more kindness, and they're more generous than a rich person. Yeah, sharing context. Yes, I think I get your meaning, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I think often the people that have been the most broken are the people that are the ones that become the healers, if that's what you mean. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Yes, I think in my case that's the case. If I'd lived, sometimes like, God, why? Why so much trauma? Why so many really difficult things to have walked through? And it's because if I hadn't walked through these times of well, let's put it, suicide attempts when my mother was dying, losing my mother, losing my family, facing homelessness, to name a few, court cases, having to go through all sorts of things, betrayal, grief, there's just a list. And Spirit always says to me, but would you be able to relate to these people that you love? I genuinely love people in whatever state they're at. And I get told off for this. You wouldn't believe it. And that's what reminds me of like it being like Jesus. I love to hang out with people where they need hope and where they need love and where they need support. Because why would you go? Jesus used to say, well, why would you send a doctor to someone who's not sick? You send the doctor to the person that's unwell. And sometimes people are like, what are you hanging around with that bunch for? I'm like, because I love them. And they need light and they need hope and they need support. Why would I not? Why would I not? Like, you sitting there in your holy camp doing nothing really annoys me. But anyway, that's the religious sort of spirit that I have nothing to do with, and I won't, because it's people-centered. I'm a person-centered person. And I have a lot of love to give people. I've always wanted to travel. I feel like I'm running out of time. See, what did I tell you? I could feel this retirement sort of energy coming over you. And Spirit's saying, you are not in a retirement energy. It's in your mind, soul astronaut. You've got to explore. See, get out of that retirement energy. You've got your vibrance and you've got vital energy. I feel like... eat loads and loads of fruits. He's telling me eat fruits, like food that is full of life, in the vine type, coming from a tree, and fuel your body and your soul with source energy, which is your vital life force energy, but also lots of fruits and vegetables, things that come from trees. I'm feeling like you need a bit of a cleanse and this new energy, because you're not in retirement energy. Hey, Alex! Welcome, my friend. I'm almost heading out, but would you like a card? Marco, would you like a card? Yo, what's really good? We're really good. We've just had some confirmations with the cards that came through. I was talking about not being able to serve two masters. We can't choose to follow our soul path if we haven't plugged into the mains and we're not willing to do what Spirit tells us to. And if we choose to do what our mind and our logic and our depressed thoughts, we can't serve two masters. We have to Is that a hands up for a card, Alex? We have to choose what our soul is aligning us to, and we have to be plugged in to the highest possible frequency. Like, plug me into the mains, baby. I don't want this low voltage frequency. Give me the full whack. Right, I'm going to choose you a card. Hang on. Alex. Well, this one is staring at me. The mission. You have a mission. And I think you came on here at the divine timing, because the vision or the word that I had for you a while ago about moving to a certain place. And what did you do? You ignored it. And what did Spirit do? Reminded you that you here's the card again. The mission. Let me see if there's anything that comes out. You got stars again. You got an astronaut. This was a very astronaut theme by the looks of things, because they're not all astronauts. You have a mission, Alex, and you know the destination. Hello, David, joining. I'm getting distracted by the chat. You know where you're supposed to go, Alex. You're on the right path now, I believe. And I'm trying to remember what the vision was. You were in this barren place and nothing was growing, and you were getting very frustrated, and you had to go back into the tree of life, which was Jesus. That woman looks like the woman I met last night. It's an AI version of me. Show me pictures. I want pictures. Yeah, so you needed to align into the tree of life. You needed to reconnect to the source, didn't you, Alex? If I remember rightly. And then fruit was growing. It was like a lemon tree, a citrus tree, and the fruits were growing, and then you were eating, and you were flourishing, and fruits were going. So I think the decisions that you're making are connecting you into that tree of life. So maybe look back over those visions. Have I missed something? Spirit knows from the heart, my body follows. Yes, exactly. Ancestral knowing as well. And the oracle. I believe that this is part of my gift, and I think recently some kind of energy, I don't know what I conform to in that, was trying to knock me off my perch and make me think that I wasn't doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But I think the more I walk, it just gets more clarified and more confirmed. And this type of thing, when I come on and you're confirming to me that it's making sense, tells me, and knowing my heart, that I just want to encourage people. So where's the wrong in that, right? So send me love and, energy exchange. Send me love in return. And I will continue doing what I'm doing. And I have so many exciting things that I can just see in my vision of what's to come. Music's a big one of them, and things over there are getting very exciting too. I've had a couple of opportunities come. Let's just see. Very accurate. I'm on this new journey now, and it feels so great. Yes, thank you. So my body remembers a card from the High Priestess Starbeck. My body remembers a card from the High Priestess. You might have to explain that to me. The High Priestess card is very my kind of energy. I'm not sure if I've pulled a High Priestess card for you before. It's also why I got this. Let me find it. You often see me wearing this, which was, it literally called me, and a lady made it for me, which is the High Priestess, and it's the green, it's the heart chakra, and that's where I operate from. It's the heart chakra. I do everything from the heart, and sometimes it's misunderstood, but there we go. That's always the way. High Priestess, Marco, send me a message. I'm not quite sure what you mean about the High Priestess card, but yes, that card and the Star card resonate very much for me. But we all are High Priestess and High Priests. We can all step into that energy, which is the energy of, at your highest, we're always students, but we can teach what we've learned. Yeah. So I don't think somehow you fall into this place where you're leading people, and that's wonderful. And I don't know how the hell I got there, but it's definitely where I'm meant to be. This is who I'm meant to be. But at the same time, I'm always like a sponge. I love learning. I love putting myself in situations where I'm uncomfortable to make sure. He was being specific of what he wanted. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. See, I get lost, get confused. But it's lovely having you all on here this morning. What a lovely bunch of mainly boys as well. Did I see any girls in the group? But sending you love. And I'm going to go and make some music now. And if you're inspired by anything I've said, drop me a message. And love you lots. Take care. See you soon, guys.